Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I would like to make a book review because I haven't done one for a long time. This book is called Partial Differential Equations for Scientists and Engineers by Stanley Farlow. This is, in my opinion, one of the best introduction to PDE, and it's very affordable because it is published by Dover. Of course, partial differential equations is the backbone of physics and engineering, and to a large extent, classical applied mathematics were dominated by PDEs. It is important to know that PDEs is such a massive field that no book is expected to cover every aspect of it. What this book is about, it focuses on finding practical methods for solving PDEs both analytically and numerically, and it has tons of pictures and examples. Let's see what are the topics. The introduction to PDEs, diffusion type problems. Diffusion type problems are tremendously important in physics and also in financial mathematics. It is deeply connected to the theory of stochastic processes. Hyperbolic type problems. So unlike diffusion, hyperbolic type problems discuss transport phenomenon. The most important one being the wave equation. The famous Maxwell's equation in electrodynamics are also connected to hyperbolic type problems. Basically, it governs the behavior of electrical magnetic waves. Chapter 4, we have elliptic type problems. So elliptic type problems can be roughly thought of as the stationary solutions for diffusion type problems. And last chapter, we have numerical and approximate methods, which is very nice because typically introductory books on PDEs typically focuses only on the analytic solutions, but numericals and approximate methods are usually how PDEs are solved in real life. So these are very standard materials. But if we look at the content list a bit closely, we can see that they are not organized into the usual sections. They're called lessons. And there's a very good reason. In one lesson, for example, lesson 2, we have parabolic equations, diffusion type problems, and interpretation, boundary condition, initial conditions, other diffusion type equations, and followed by problems. And that's it. For beginners, this is amazing, in my opinion. Basically, you can time yourself, set up a study time for 1 or 2 hours, look at the main text and see which problems you can do. And the problems, as far as I can tell, are very standard, focusing on the fundamentals. And also, it has solutions at the back, or actually, more accurately, it has answers at the back. I don't think there's solution steps, but for PDE, especially introductory PDEs, the methods are very algorithmic, so to say. Let's say if you do a separation of variable or a Laplace transform, Fourier transform, the steps are very standard. The idea is if you truly understand the examples, you should have no problems doing these exercises. It will be redundant to give full details to the solutions of the problem. An important skill when learning any sort of mathematics or science is the ability to independently verify a result. I think it's actually a good practice that the full details of the solution aren't included at the back. It's impossible to go too much into the meat and potatoes of PDEs in such a book review video, but just based on the format of the book, you can see the organization is very user-friendly. This book, I think it strikes a good balance between rigor and intuition. We have to understand for differential equations, there are 2 major activities in this field. First is the search of practical methods for solving the problem. And the second is the more theoretical and qualitative aspect. These are intricately connected, but each part is large enough that they form their independent aspect. In the second, more qualitative and theoretical aspect, the main focus would be, why do solutions even exist? And is the problem itself well posed? That's a technical term. It includes topics like existence, uniqueness, sensitivity to initial and boundary data, which are also tremendously important in practice. This can make or break the behavior of a numerical simulation. But as far as a beginner is concerned, introducing these issues would not be very fruitful and is likely to discourage the reader from even pursuing the subject. And here, I think the author strikes a good balance here. It focuses on finding practical solutions, but also mention those issues I just mentioned in passing. There's also something else I really like about the coverage. is that it emphasizes the connection of PDEs to various other branches of mathematics and not just a cookbook, so to say. For example, at the end, I believe, where is it? It discusses the connection between PDEs and calculus of variation, and also Monte Carlo method. And this is actually one of the pillars in financial mathematics. And in this lesson, we get an idea about how PDEs and probability theory are connected. So this is really beautiful. And there's even a section, and there's even a lesson on perturbation and asymptotics. Sometimes we may encounter situations where there is a small parameter in the problem. When the small parameter is equal to 0, we know the exact solution. But we don't know the exact solution, or the exact solution is very complicated for a general parameter value. So the perturbation method allows us to construct an approximate solution based on perturbing the analytic solution by a small parameter, usually denoted as epsilon. Here's an example. In a circular domain, the problem has a well-known solution, but what if the shape is slightly disturbed? You can get very insightful analysis from perturbation method. So perturbation and numericals are two major approximate methods for solving the PDEs. They each have their own advantage. Numerical methods tends to be more accurate, and perturbation methods tends to be more insightful when it comes to qualitative behaviors. That's about the main text, but we did see a puzzle at the end. I'm a big fan of crossword. Perhaps it's a good idea for me to refresh my knowledge and see how many I can do. A cross. The PDE of the form axy uxx plus bxy uyy equals to fxy is called second order linear. That's not one word, no? Okay, anyway, 3. A person's name associated with a method for solving initial boundary value problem with difficult boundary conditions in terms of solutions of problem with simple boundary conditions. Who is that? Fourier? Again, I'm not sure. Question 5. Types of equations where the principle of superposition holds. It's got to be linear equations. 6. A author of a famous text on PDE. How on earth are we supposed to know? Evans? It's 6 letters. I mentioned Evans because PDE by Evans is like the standard graduate book on PDE. I'm not sure about this one. I have not written too many books on PDEs. 7. In order for separation of variables to work, PDE must be, I think, homogeneous. I think the PDE must be homogeneous. 10. A first-order equation of the form ut plus fx equals to 0 is called a what equation? I think I've done a YouTube short about that, huh? The word is quite long. I'm thinking continuity equation, but it can also be hyperbolic. Hyperbolic PDEs do have first-order examples. This is actually quite a tough puzzle. 12. When we solve Laplace equation in polar coordinates by separation of variables, the ODE in R is named after this man, I think Euler. 12. Yes, Euler. Pretty short. Anyway, you get the idea. And by the way, just honorable mention, the same author, Farlow, also have Introduction to Differential Equations in General. I think this is, I never read this, okay, I never read this. Go check that one out as well, because this book is very good. I suspect the introduction to ODE would be quite nice as well. And you do need some background in ODE to follow the exposition on PDEs. For example, you got to know what's the solution to a simple harmonic oscillator. And for more complicated ODEs, the text introduces as needed, such as the Bessel's equation along the way when it's called for. Thanks very much for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye.